Good afternoon to everyone who just joined our program, our online seminars, which we run every Sunday online via Skype. And today, as I mentioned, the third seminar in January 2012, and I'm really happy that we have so many people listening to us. So the topic we're going to discuss today is, again, the political topic about the Eurozone and the crisis happening now. And the loan have been offered by the ECB, which is the largest European central bank. And the topic is it a remedy of 489.19 billion euros offered by ECB or a time bomb? As a pre-Christmas present to smooth the economic yo-yo market of recent months, ECB, European Central Bank, has offered 489.19 billion euros of low collateral debts in exchange for loans pegged at the ECB rate, which is currently stands at 1%. With over 500 banks, 523 to be more precise, this means that when it comes to 2015, the under 3 years loan deal, the debt matures for repayment, and the scary part is that will cost EU banks dearly, around 700 billion euros. Of course, such step was needed to save the euro and the recurrence of another financial crisis, which undoubtedly would have the spillover effects around the world, as it happened back in 2008. Yet I feel that this question will be opened very soon and decision will need to be made urgently to avoid such crisis in 2015. Now, why shall we expect a financial meltdown if this short-sighted remedy is not resolved beforehand? Well, firstly, the EU banks are already under high pressure, financial pressure followed by bailouts of weakened economies. An example, based on June 2011 figures, that's how much of foreign debt is already owed by the countries to the banks. Spain, 1.2 trillion euros, Ireland, 1.7 trillion euros, Italy, 2 trillion euros, Portugal and Greece, 0.4 trillion euros each. Those amounts are so huge that there's no guarantee that repayment is feasible, and moreover, the amount borrowed by ECB is enough to maintain and back up the EU member states for further collapse in 3 years' time, not mentioning paying back to ECB. It's most likely this time frame will be stretched further to 10 years and more until the economies will pick up. And if that happens, the amount of debt will only mount more and more, creating a pressure inside a loan bubble to burst. Secondly, the economies are not doing well with the slow growing GDP, gross domestic product, which is total market value of all products and services produced in the country during a certain time, and the proportion of foreign debt to date. While we are paying attention to restoring the EU and preventing a financial turmoil, it's the ordinary taxpayers who suffer. But there's only that much pressure that everyone can resist to. The difference is, although Spain, Portugal, and Greece do owe monies, the picture we need to look at is that how much of foreign debt this means per person. And to your surprise, the UK is in much worse position, including our neighbour Ireland, than all Spain, Greece, Portugal, and Italy together. I refer to the BBC data, the foreign debt allocated per person in the countries as follows. Italy, 32,875 euros. Portugal, 38,081 euro. Greece, 38,073 euros. Spain, 41,366 euro. The UK, 117,580 euros. And Ireland, 399,969 euro. And this data collated before the ECB offer, which was action in December 2011, and that means that the actual situation now will be much worse. The UK GDP of 1.7 trillion euros is not sufficient to recover the foreign debt of 7.3 trillion euros, which partly belongs to the rescue contribution to the EU countries. The money flow chart of owed to owed currently as follows. Germany, 141 billion euro, the UK owes 379. France, 227 billion euros. The UK owed 209 billion euros. Spain, 316 billion euros. The UK owns 74 billion euros. Japan, 122 billion euros, owned 102 billion euros. Ireland, 113 billion euros, owed 104 billion euros. The US, 578 billion euros, owed 835 billion euros. So does it mean that ESB loan is a remedy, or is it a time bomb? Both. It is the remedy to start with, which delays the point to make a decision resolving this huge burden of debts. Hence, it is a dangerous time bomb too. This has to be brought to attention sooner or later, and better sooner before the Eurobond required to be paid, before the ESB loan mature, before other malicious rate appears. Just remember the property bubble in the US when it all started with collateral debt obligations (CDOs) and resulted in a global crisis drowning the US economy in a huge debt of $15 trillion, which largely affects the inflation, economic growth, and interest rates. Their action is needed urgently, with a realistic view as a collaboration from every country worldwide. I would like to say thank you very much for listening to this seminars. If you do have any topics or would you have any suggestions or feedbacks on the my readings or the topics you would like me to put in read for you, I will be happy to do so. Please keep in touch with me via email at study@languagepro.co.uk. Thank you very much and have a very good week. Goodbye, everyone.